And then welcome back. Peace reflection. Now he was asleep, and now that okay, let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, having that conversation with her just sparked me to want to come on, the camera. I haven't been on the camera. Welcome everybody to the room. Peace reflection. Welcome, welcome. I want a pen, but I got the baby in my hand. Peace, Queen Kalafi. Peace. Welcome everybody. Me and the babes right here chilling. And I wanted to, the baby's doing very well. Growing, he is growing rapidly. Every day I see him like, oh my gosh, you're so big, you're about to walk. Yeah. Oh, I feel good. I thought there was nothing wrong with me. Shit, I just had a baby. Yeah, everybody trying to put off some crazy ass spells. Like I just had a child and I delivered my own child, in the jungle. Like, what you think I'm supposed to look like? You know what I'm saying? And then there's amongst other things that I had to endure, going through that process. But yeah, I wanted to come on today, and I'll have like questions and answers for anybody afterwards. But I really wanted to talk to y'all about, about some things that was on my mind, because right now, I'm going through a transition in my life, and even though there has been changes and involvement in my life, I realized a lot of people wouldn't have done what I did. But I believe in the choices that I made in my life is that hold on. Oh, and I'm back to blocking, and not blocking you because you don't have Christ on your name, but blocking you because you're asking me questions that is not relevant. That's not relevant, and that's not supportive or going in the right frequency that I want this room to go into. So if you find yourself not in this room, it's because of that. Like, I'm in a no tolerance, and I'm vibing high, and I don't need anybody that's not on my team, or not on my frequency to be coming here dirtying it up. It is what it is. So I just realized that I'm in my purpose, and you are in your purpose when you will give up everything for it, and when you will actually die for it. And when I say you will die for it, that old part of yourself no longer is relevant, no longer is needed for you to sustain in this realm of existence. So a lot of times people want to go back and call me Stephanie, and I'm like, who's Stephanie? That part of me has died. That part of me no longer is necessary for my purpose. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not disregarding that part of myself, because that part of myself got me to where I am, but now that part of myself is no longer relevant. That's just like you being in a relationship with someone, and then you break up, and then you in a new relationship, and then your family members and your friends are asking you, how is your ex? How is such and such? Right in front of your new man. Be like, what? Like, what about my new man? What about this? What about this new happiness? What about this joy? But you worrying about the old man. That's how I deem it when people want to go back into my past or want to bring up my name or whatever. I'm no longer that. I'm in a new relationship now. But the relationship I'm in now with myself, and the realization that I am in myself, is that I know who I am. And I had to come on here today because I wanted to remind my reflection of who you are, and that you are God, and that you can do anything. And I realized that the reason why people look at my choice as crazy, like, oh my gosh, she joined a cult, or oh my goodness, she left the cult, like, it's because you don't know who you are. You don't know that you're God. You run this shit. You created all of this. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm not going to block you, Amber, because you know you and I are cool, but that part of me has evolved. That's exactly what I said. Do you think your ex still needs love from you when you got a new man? It's the same concept. Do you think your ex needs your love when you got a new man that needs your love and that you're moving forward with? You see what I'm saying? That's not disregarding your ex. It's that you're no longer with that person. So why are we still talking about it? Like, you know what I mean? Why are you still looking back? We need to look forward in our life, in whatever we do, and take whatever jewels and whatever lessons that your past had given you and move it forward. But don't look back holding on to it, you know. So I'm gonna get to that. It's just that I had to, you know, clear that out. I want people to understand, you know, what I mean by that. Those that are really rocking with me, so that you know, okay, I'll know how to address her. You know, Migos right here. So that's the only thing. So anyways, that you are God, right? This is what I want to get at, that you are God, and that you are here to remember that you are God. Okay? And the reason why you are God is because you're the only thing in this existence. That's why we say reflection, because everything is a reflection of you. And then we say that everything is all in your mind, okay? You know, you have the holographic universe that explains that everything is all in your mind. It's a projection of what's going on in your mind. There's nothing that you see outside of you that's not inside of you. Everything is fractal, okay? And the reason why you are God, because without you observing anything, it does not exist. And the way that it exists is the frequency that you put out, the attention that you give it. So without you giving it attention, without you creating the thought, it cannot be. You see? And so that's why you are God, because without your attention, you give it no power. The power lies within you. You see what I'm saying? So your reality is based on your thoughts. And I'm going to go into astrology, and that is why astrology is really important, because astrology is everything. Astrology is your mind. Everything is all in your mind. You are your body. Your mind is giving you an illusion that you have this body, but this body is an illusion in your mind. Everything. So if you know that everything that you see is created by the thoughts you give it and the focus that you give it, then you can control it. That's why we say you create your reality. You create everything. And in the way that you can have control in your reality is by understanding your reality. Okay? And the way that you understand it, the way that you understand it, you good? The way that you understand it is by understanding yourself. And the way that you can understand yourself is by understanding your astrological programming. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Boop. Okay, y'all talking about things that's not, I don't know what y'all talking about, but y'all about to get blocked. The way that you understand yourself and your reality is through astrology. Astrology. Oh yeah, I blocked him. Yeah. The way that you understand yourself is through astrology and biology, but the way you understand your mind is through astrology. If you want to understand your body and your mechanism in this reality, you understand biology. You study biology because that's why you do certain things, but that's not what this is about. But I'm going to get into that in another live so you can understand the importance of why you need to study biology so that you can maneuver in this existence as well. But I want you to maneuver in this existence through your mind, because your mind is so powerful. You can do anything if you can understand your mind, and you can control your mind, and you understand your thoughts, and you can control your thoughts. And especially when you know the difference between your perspective, your own perspective, and reality and what is really happening, because we get so caught up in our perspective that we don't really know what's actually going on. until you start asking the right questions to get an understanding, and then you be like, oh, okay. Because we get so caught up, we think that our perspective is the right way, and that's not what is actually happening. So that's the reason why you must understand your astrology. If you want to truly know how you are God and how you can maneuver in this existence as God, you got to understand your astrology, because your astrology is everything. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything is in its place. And what's reality? It's all an illusion in our minds. Yes, it's all an illusion in your mind, but if you can control the illusion, then you can control reality. You see what I'm saying? You create reality. You know what I mean? You create it because it's all in your mind. Your reality is your astrological programming. Because what you see outside of yourself is what's within. And what's within is your astrological program. It is your neuromelanin. It's your genome. It's your genes. It's the information within you. But the only way, whatever is in within you, that's what you're going to see. So that's the reason why there's no reason for you to argue with anyone or for you to explain yourself to anyone, because all you're doing is just going back and forth with yourself. That is just your subconscious being focused consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why I'm able to talk to you the way that I am, because I'm focused on my subconscious. So therefore that means it is consciousness. But everything else around you that you're oblivious to, that is your subconscious playing out. Because you know your subconscious mind is the part of you that is nonstop. It keeps moving. It's not focused. It's just going on and on like a hamster in a wheel. But your consciousness is what you are focused on and what you give attention to, and it appears real, but it's no realer than the subconscious mind. It's just that it's just focused. So if you know that, then you will know how to maneuver that. And like I said, the best way you can maneuver that is through your astrology. And someone asked, how can I learn more about my astrology? Well, the number one thing to learn about your astrology is get your birth chart. That's the number one thing you can do. And you can go on Master Teacher Flo's YouTube page, and he has a video about that, like the different websites you can go on that's free, that's not free, and that, somebody said the soul is not under astrology. The soul is the sun. The sun is your soul. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to go into that so you can understand how astrology plays within your life, okay? Because you are a living, breathing soul, right? Because people always say that they are either religious or they are spiritual. Peace, everybody in the room. I'm not looking at the comments because I'm really teaching, and then after that I'm going to open it up for questions, Q&A or whatever. But people like to say that they are either religious or they are spiritual, right? Well, we know by the definitions, let's go by the definitions, that religious is just a way of doing something, a way of life. And so then people evolve from, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But what is the word spirit? What does spirit mean? Spirit means energy. So basically all you're saying is that I'm full of energy. So you're not even a spiritual person. What you are is God having an experience as a living, breathing soul. That's what you are. If we really break down the mechanics of this, we are all living, breathing souls. That is God having a human experience. That's what we truly are. Because what we want to do, we want to break it down into like different religions. Like even with having Christ behind your name, that's still dissecting and separating yourself from the one and almighty God itself, which you are. Because you got different pieces. You got Christianity, you got Muslims, you got Buddha, all these other ones. But at the end of the day, it's just God being a human breathing soul. You have life within you, and you're living into this existence and having an experience. That's truly what you are. You're not spiritual because everything is energy. So it's just like, oh, I'm a spiritual person. Well, everything is energy. That's what everything is. So why would you even categorize yourself as being spiritual when you are energy, and spirit means energy? So with astrology, the reason why you can connect that with yourself is because The sun is where we supposedly come from. The sun is the soul. That is, the sun is your mind. That, when you think about the sun, it's your self-identity. It's who you are. It's what powers, it's what gives life. You see what I'm saying? So that is your soul. And the different planets are the expressions, is the spirit that comes from the sun. Just like with my personality, I'm a Sagittarius, but I have different personalities within being a Sagittarius. Not every Sagittarius is the same. You see what I'm saying? Because we have different spirits within us. We have different, energy within us. But it's still all the same. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why you want to understand astrology, because the sun represents who you are, the core of who you are, and it's your self-identity. But then the moon represents your emotions and how you feel. Mercury represents your intellect and how you communicate. Venus represents your creativity, your heart, what drives you, your intentions. You see what I'm saying? And everything stems, your reality stems from Venus, because Venus is your heart. And when you were first created into this reality as a living soul, the first thing is the heart that is created in the womb, and everything grows from that. So it's the same thing in astrology. Whatever your intentions are, that you can read a person's Venus to find out. You can, if they got good intentions or bad intentions. And then you have Jupiter, which is your belief system, and it locks you to your beliefs. It locks you to what else? It locks you to your luck, to your faith, like to all of that. And then Mars is the part of you that your actions, it's your passion, it's your sex drive. You see what I'm saying? And then Saturn is your part of you that is the morals and things that you have to learn, your karma, your lessons. You see what I'm saying? And so then the rest of the planets, like Pluto, Uranus, I'm going to do a video about this. Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, those are the planets that create your environment. Like, you can't disregard your environment, because it's what you're in. So it gives you an understanding of as to why your reality and your environment and the people around you are the way that they are. And then the inner planets is just telling you in who you are within that environment and your purpose. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So as God, you need to understand that part of yourself and the character that you are playing in your own reality. And most people are not even understanding their part in their own reality. And that's the reason why you choose to live a life that is not fulfilling, and you have not come into your purpose. And people are always trying to look for what gives them joy, what makes them happy. It's because you're not living within your purpose. You're still living this alter ego of who you think you are. You see what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you who you are and remind you and be that example. And that's the reason why, I come on camera and I have given my life. I have dedicated my life to this, because y'all think, because I'm not in the tribe anymore, that I'm just going to go back to living the life that I live. Nah, I've been activated to do this. This is my purpose. I was doing what I was doing. I was rocking them for the longest. I was rocking with them because I found my purpose, and it didn't matter, what was going on. I'm going to live and die for this. And so now I'm going to continue to do that, because it doesn't matter who I'm with or whatever. I know who I am, and I'm going to live that and be that, regardless if anybody agrees with me or whatever. I'm going to continue to do this to my best ability, and I want to be that example for the world to see, that no matter what, keep doing you, keep being you, being your purpose. When you find your purpose, you will know when you found your purpose and what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't wait until Migo, my baby, that he gets to a certain point, because I'm so excited that I've tapped into this frequency, because then I'll be able to allow him to become to who he really was. Because when we were in Babylon, we've been programmed, from our parents, and from society, to be something that we're not, so that we can fit in. And it's okay, but we all have the opportunity to be something more, because we're in the information age. There's no reason why you're not deciding to do something different with your life, because there's just too much information out there that can help you. You know, it's not like before where they kept the information and you don't know and you're stuck. But nah, there's so much information that it's so easy for you to leave and do something. You know what I mean? And so with Migo, like I'm just so thankful that I'll be able to allow him to become who he really is, and he doesn't have to go through the semantics like I did. But that's just my story. My story said I had to go through the semantics, but Migo, he came through me, through a person that has been enlightened and has come into their higher self, to where now he doesn't have to worry about me trying to alter him or try to change him. I'm going to give him the truth of what I know, and I'm going to allow him to live in his truth and who he is, you know, and let that flourish. Let him become who he is, because he's his own light. He's his own energy. Just because he's my son, just because he came through me, like I'm his guardian to make sure that he becomes who he's supposed to be, because he has his own astrological programming. And so I want to make sure that he comes into that and learns that for himself. He's going to know who he is before he's 18. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have a true understanding, you know, that I had to wait until I was in my late 30s to get to truly understand that, you know. But that's just the story, you know, that I created for myself. You know, that's my story. But yeah, so yeah, let me see what y'all are talking about. And I'm only going to answer questions that are relevant. Y'all asking me some crazy ass questions, I'm going to ignore you. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a mother now. That's a good question. How would you feel if Migo didn't follow your teachings? Well, I wouldn't feel any type of way if Migo didn't follow my teachings. As his mother, as his guardian, I'm going to instill the principles and give it to him the way that I'm supposed to. And when he gets to that point in his life to where he wants to venture out and do his own thing, that's on him. But as his mother, it's my duty to make sure I bring him to the water. Now, like what's that saying? You can bring a horse to a water, but it doesn't mean they're going to drink it, or something like that. I'm going to make sure I give him the water. Now, whether or not he want to drink it, he can't ever say, my conscience can't say that I didn't do all that I could do to give him the truth. But as long as I do what I'm supposed to do as his mother, as his caregiver, what he do with it is on him. You know, I can't control that, but I can control what I do. You know, and I think that's what's important, is that I teach him. And if he's teachable, great. And if he ain't teachable, he's going to have to learn like everyone else and go out here and discover what truth is for him. Because, you know, everybody got it's only one truth, but the way people want to look at it, everybody got their own truth. So, you know, but I do believe there's only one truth, and everybody will come to it one day. Yeah. My phone about to die. It was at like 60% and it's about to die. They took the charger? Yeah. Well, I know he took the battery pack. Mm-hmm. You did so right here? Huh? You want to sit right here? Oh yeah, I forgot that charger cord's right there. Let's see. Somebody asked me if I was like going to Ghana. No, I'm not going to Ghana, but I think it's a great opportunity for those that do want to go to Ghana. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that person was on here trying to debate. Oh, let me see. Let's see. Oh, they're being disrespectful. No, if you're asking questions that are disrespectful, I don't care if I am asking for donations. It's no point in somebody being rude and disrespectful. You can give if you want to give, but what's that got to do with you asking inappropriate questions? Just because we're putting out that if you want to give, like that doesn't make any sense, and you're going to get blocked for that. You're going to get blocked for even asking that, for even saying that. What's that got to do with anything? I said I'll answer your questions if they have some substance to it, but if it's rude, Shoot, this is my room. You in my chat. Like, come on. Yes, I am getting rest and getting better every day. Let's see. I might have to move over. Oh, someone said, yeah, I might have to, oops. Someone said, oh, look at him. He's just awake and looking at me. He's just laying there, like, looking at me and stuff. Aww. He be like, sometimes he'll just lay there and just look at me, and I don't even know he's awake. I'll be like, look at this little boy. Like, he's already grown up. Somebody says, is it possible to follow your path as far as eating and living in nature in Babylon? I don't know what your path is. You know what I mean? Like, people don't realize. Okay, I didn't want to get into this, but that's a great question. The reason why. Hold on. The reason why you don't want to be in Babylon, this is how I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it like this because Babylon is everywhere. But when I'm talking about getting out of the states, it's because it's not in between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, okay? And the reason why that's important is because that is where the sun hits the highest. And if you know what the sun is an antenna. And if you knew what you were, you would know that you are the sun in human form. So you want to be near what you truly are. You want to receive that energy. So the sun is energy, you are energy. But if you are outside of those ley lines, you're not receiving as much energy as you possibly can. And also, you are receiving codes, you are receiving information from the sun. So if you are not near your tower, you're not going to receive the information that you need. It's just like your cell phone. If you are not near the tower, you're not going to pick up the signals. And you ever notice when you are out of the ley lines of your cell phone tower, and then you wonder why nobody's calling you and receiving messages, and then once you get near your tower, you just start getting all these messages, and and people are calling you. It's because you're near the signal. That's the way you have to look at the sun. You have to look at the sun as your tower to life itself, and then also if you look at your food that you're eating, it comes from the tropics. It comes from the area of the ley lines between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. And if you understood the importance of the sun, that's the reason why people now have so many ailments. They're vitamin D deficient. They have thyroid problems, low anemia. And people think, oh, you got to eat certain foods. You got to take vitamins. No, it's the environment that you are in. Why do you think when it's wintertime, the animals, they go to the tropics? Because they know. They're like, okay, the sun's not out. The trees are dead. Let me go to the environment where it's still thriving and living. But as humans, we don't do that because we choose to live backwards, which we say we choose to live evil. And that's why we say Babylon. Like, you're not evil, but your ways are evil. But then once truth comes to you, then what are you going to do with that truth? And if you hear the truth and it hits you in a way and you're convicted in the way, and then you still live the way that you're living, then that says everything about you. And that's the reason why it's called Babylon. But only you have your own moral compass of what's right or wrong. We all have our own moral compass of what's right and wrong. And that's why we say if the words convict you that come out of my mouth, then you know what's right and wrong. But if they don't convict you, then obviously I'm not speaking to you. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that's going to just bash and condemn somebody. No, I'm going to convict you with my life. I'm not going to convict you, hitting you upside the head with what I believe in. You may not believe in it, but if you feel a certain way about it, you might want to look into it. Living in nature is just not what it's about, because nature is just the patterns of your mind. You see what I'm saying? And so what frequency you're vibrating at when your environment changes. And so that's why when you say we go to nature, it's because nature, everything is in balance. Everything is in harmony with itself. In nature, everything is green. Everything is brown. And what is the vibration of green? Green is balance. Green brings, it's no stress. Green means relax. You know, green is peace. You know, that's what green, the color vibration of green is, you know, and then everything is brown, you know. But in Babylon, they knock down everything and put buildings up and, you know, make you be on concrete. And it's just not conducive to your well-being. And that's the reason why people have all these mental and psychological problems. It's because you're not connected to what you are. You're not connected to the earth. You see, they're not going to allow you to, you know, and so they're constantly insulating you. So you can eat vegan and you can go to the parks and be in nature, but you are not going to be connected to who you really are. And you know how we always say that we're cells. Cells are constantly connecting and reproducing, you know, but what happens in Babylon, what's reproducing is cancer cells, because you're just producing and taking and taking and taking and not giving back, you know. And that's the difference between you know, nature and Babylon. In nature, everything works with itself. Everything is connecting and working together in the equilibrium and balance. In Babylon, it's not like that. In Babylon, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and you know, and things are constantly being produced that's not giving back anything. Is actually taking away, you know. So that's the difference, you know. And so I just highly suggest that you research EMF, electromagnetic fields, you know, study like what that does to you and being around certain environments. Study epigenetics. That tells you about your environment too, and why you should be in a certain climate, because it does affect you, you know. And so that's the reason why, for me, no matter what, I'm going to live in between the tropics. Like, I'm just so convicted that I understand the importance of living in a certain climate because of what it's going to do to me physically and the information that I'm going to receive. Because if I'm outside of those lines, I'm not going to receive the information. I'm not going to truly be who I am because I'm disconnected from who I am. Okay? Let's see. Somebody said, "Are you opening your mind to other theories?" I'm always opening my mind to my higher self. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm always opening my mind to get to my higher self. That's pretty much where I'm at. Like, what I learned through Chief is a valuable information. Just because I may not be living in the same house as him, I'm not going to disregard the things that I learned, because regardless of his character or what you think of him, the information that he puts out is solid. And I ain't talking about that stuff with the people. I'm talking about the information that he talks about is solid, is sound, you know. And so that is something that is instilled in me, and I'm going to keep that moving forward. That's not the things he talk about aren't theories. It's facts. It's science. You know what I mean? Like, astrology is not a theory. Biology is not a theory. You know what I mean? That's like fact. And I believe people really need to take the time to hold on me. Block this person. Cause we moved from that. Oops. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me flip it back over. Yeah, those aren't theories. Those are facts and science. But I'm always open to getting to my higher self, and I do believe that Chief did get me there to my higher self, and I'm open to receiving more information and more knowledge from the universe. Like, you know what I mean? So whatever form that comes in, I'm an open vessel to receive it. Oh, yeah, thank you, sweet, sexy Sam. Okay. I liked Costa Rica, but I love Mexico. Mexico is a beautiful place. I love this. I have nothing bad to say about Mexico. Mexico is really cheap. In Mexico, it's like you can almost feel like you're in Babylon in some parts of Mexico. Like where we at right now, I feel like we're in the States, like dead ass. I feel like we're right in Atlanta, Georgia, in some areas that we're in. That we're in right now. But yeah, I like Mexico. And then Mexico, has the tropics. And like I said, it's really cheap. So if you ever decide to leave, I highly recommend Mexico. It's one of them places that has a bad reputation, but it's beautiful. The people are beautiful. Like, I don't have nothing bad to say about Mexico. No, I'm not on Dr. Sebi alkaline protocol. Oh, she said, I remember talking to you, lovely. If you feel like you should stay, I don't see nothing wrong with Costa Rica, but if you want to experience something else, Mexico, I like Mexico. Virginia's not in between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn.
What?
Somebody said, is Virginia a good place then?
My.
Before you leave and go anywhere, you got to get your mind right. As you can go to the tropics, but if your mind is still Babylon, you're just going to just bring that, with you. But the entire world can't live there. The entire world is not. Only the chosen will make that choice to leave. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is for everyone. You see what I'm saying? Like, everybody's so concerned about what the whole world is doing, but you are the whole world. Stop thinking that everybody got to follow you. No, you be the one that step out on your own faith. Your own faith is the knowledge that you know and you stand up on. Not going out on faith and not knowing. No, faith is knowledge that is sound. And the world will follow. Stop thinking that the world got to do it and then you got to do it. If the world's doing it, then you better second guess it. It may not be right. Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all know that's right, Rebel Roots Creations. You just answered my question. It says the entire world wouldn't live near the equator. Not everyone's meant to be awakened or the chosen. They said exactly what I said. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right, beauty to Christ. Hold on, let me come. Can I sit in that chair and plug my phone up? Oh, me and the baby. Do you mind plugging it up? Okay. Ooh, it's hot.
Peace, y'all.
No, it needs to be like.
You need to sit it up?
Yeah, let's see if it'll sit up. Oh, perfect.
Is that good? I don't think you can touch it.
Oh, shit.
But it should be good.
Let's see. Well, I have to touch it so that I can. Okay, hold on. Let me move his off this nipple because that's not comfortable at all. Oh, yeah, that's heat away from me, girl. Ooh, it's hot. Because he's over here like a little hot box.
Y'all can look at me while she handles makeup.
Thank you, buddy. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm burning up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a face.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can
You're
touch
good?
it. Yeah, I'm thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm just reading the comments.
Oh, that is hot.
Yeah, it's like it's cold where we are, but today it's like really warm. We got the heater on, and it's like it's really hot. But I'm gonna make sure the baby's okay. Well, I don't know. I can't answer for the Buddha. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can only talk to you. Like, people, like, even Chief was awakened in Babylon, but the Buddha is on a whole nother frequency. So I can't talk about somebody that's not on the frequency, that I'm on. And you know what I'm saying? Especially at that time, you're talking about something that is not in this time. And then plus you don't even know if the Buddha really existed, just like we don't know if Jesus really existed, or any of these people that we talk about truly existed. You know what I mean? So you can't, that's not a really good question to ask. You can only talk about what's going on now. You know what I mean? The time is different. Like we're in a whole different phase of existence in this realm. Like, you know, just the way information is coming out is just not this. It's not the same how it was. You know, the illusion of time 50 years ago. You know, now 50 years later, information is different. So you don't know what the Buddha did to get to where they were. You know, if the Buddha was a true living being, you know, like us, the Buddha could just been a story, just like, you know, Jesus Christ was. Let's see. Okay, I already answered that question. Yeah, green is your heart chakra. Can I give fertility advice? The thing, okay, when you talk about fertility advice, what type of advice are you looking for? Sage and Sade, I guess that's your name. I'm just looking through the comments now. Somebody asked, can metals and crystals help you? You are actually a crystal yourself. Your bones are crystals. And crystals, like, people don't realize that when you take crystals from the earth, it loses its power because it's not connected to the earth. It's like you picking a flower, and once you pick the flower, it no longer has that life force coming into it. The crystals are pretty, you know, but it's not. But if it's not close to where it came from, then it's not going to have the power that you think. And it's the same thing with us. If we're not connected to the earth itself, we don't have as much power. We don't have as much energy as we could. It's the same thing. Okay, let's see. Block this person. Oh yeah, Mela J. I think I will do a video about my story. I always think people know who I am and where I came from and why I did what I did, but I know that's something that. Oh, you can sit there. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, I'll do my story.
That's English. That's
Oh, that's what are you doing?
I'm like, they speak English.
Yeah. Well, at least they're back. Oh yeah, I hear him.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Is it sliding?
Let me go open this. Peace, everybody. Oh, that's a good question, Miss Twin Divine. Once you find out the information in your chart, how do you use that to elevate your life? Well, what do you do with knowledge of knowing something? You apply it because you have the knowledge to it. So, for example, say that you realize in your chart, in your Mercury, that you have a certain perspective that tends to overanalyze something instead of like just looking at things. And instead of overanalyzing and, you know, having a warped perspective, because, for example, you might have a water Mercury. Well, we know when Mercury comes into water, it makes it emotional. and Mercury doesn't want to be in an emotional space. Mercury loves information. Mercury loves to analyze and, self-correct and keep moving and receiving information. But if it's in a water sign, you tend to be emotional. You tend to be very subjective. So by knowing that, if you have Mercury in Cancer or Mercury in Pisces or Mercury in Scorpio, you can tend to look at things a little too deep, or you can tend to be emotional about things that need you to be objective and need you to be very sound. So by you knowing that, and then you see the patterns of your mind, then you will have the choice to decide to look at it in a different way. And just like with your moon is connected to your emotions, and it's also connected to your subconscious mind and the subconscious patterns in the way that you move. Because sometimes when we go through certain things, we move in a haphazard way. We move in a subconscious way to where we just move without thinking. So if you know that, for example, you have a moon in a fire sign, that makes you very outwardly emotional. It makes you move in a way, through your emotions, and you're very direct, and sometimes you can be very self-centered about how you feel instead of really looking at the situation and, and looking at how it affects another person. So by knowing that, you can decide to do something differently. Because I have a moon and fire sign, and sometimes I move like in a very direct way, and I go off of my emotions, and I'm very expressive, with it. And sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes it can be a detriment for me. But when you that's just little pieces. But you have debilitations in your chart that is hindering you from being able to see yourself for who you really are. Like when I say that you are God, there is parts of yourself in your chart that will not allow you to see that. Like there are some parts of yourself that will never realize who you are and that you are God. There's some parts of yourself that has doubt, that has low self-esteem. So once you find out that part of yourself, that aspect of yourself, it could be an aspect or it could be a certain sign in a certain planet that really gives you low self-esteem or self-doubt to where you doubt yourself, or when you hear the truth, it does not resonate with you because your heart is hardened. Then when you study that, you will know. Because, for example, Venus does not want to be in Virgo. There's certain signs that should not be in certain planets. And when it is, it's a detriment and it can hinder you. And so with Venus being in Virgo, it can actually harden your heart, because Venus is very critical and analytical. And when it comes to your heart, and when it comes to your creativity and the way that you love and what you're trying to create, you don't want it to be in that space. You want it to be in an open and allowing and a loving space. You see what I'm saying? And with Virgo energy, it doesn't go well with that. It's actually a hindrance for a person to have Virgo energy. Now, with you knowing that, it's not the end of the world, but then by you knowing that, you can see the patterns of your mind and your actions, and then you can change in a different way, or you can link yourself up with someone that can balance out your energy and that can help you out with that, and then that way you won't be your own hindrance in your life. So, welcome back, y'all. Yes, be quiet. They said I should change my name to Astro Mama. What y'all think? Y'all put ones if y'all think that's what my name should be. Yeah, vegan journey life. That somebody said this is why when people go on vacation to the tropics, they usually feel so invigorated, and then upon returning to the States, they get sad. Exactly. Like that is such a great point, vegan journey. Like that's why people go to the ocean, they go to the tropics, because they want to get replenished. They want to receive the energy that they're not receiving in Babylon. And that's why you go to the ocean. That's why you go to the tropics, and you want to relax and you take a vacation from your life. But if you got to take a vacation from your life, then you're living the wrong life. You should never feel like you need to get away from your life and go somewhere else and then come back to it, because you're just coming right back to what you're running away from. But yes, you get around all four elements, because in the tropics, you get the sunlight, you get the water, you get the fresh air, and you get the grounding that you need. And then you go back to Babylon being insulated again, and then having to do it again to take a vacation again. So, I mean, that's so true. Let's see. Someone said, are you into metaphysics? I've always been confused with that word metaphysics. of physics, because meta means what is meta? I was researching this. Above physics. Like, that's all it is above physics. So what is above physics? What deems y'all when you hear above physics? What does that mean for you?
I don't think it's real. I just think it's people not understanding the true physics. Because if they understood true physics, they understand everything's energy, and we can observe that physics. So there's nothing really above physics, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a word that people used to use to explain a phenomenon that they couldn't understand yet.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, but you just answered my question, because I always heard people talk metaphysical, but I was like, what's above energy when everything is energy? Like,
so now I'm not into metaphysics.
Well, you know what I mean? Like you just gave me the answer. I'm just like, that doesn't, like, I thought it was just me and I was overthinking it. But that's why it's very important for you to break down words, because we misconstrue words, you know, in their understanding. Let's see. Y'all are saying some good things in this room. Oh, I would love to live in Jamaica. I love Jamaica. If the universe opens those doors for me to go, I would so go to Jamaica. Like, for real. Let's see. Yes, Looney Tune. When we get back, she said, can you please do a cooking video in your YouTube channel? Oh, most definitely. When we get on our way and get to our destination and, you know, and get settled, I'm most definitely going to get back into cooking and, you know, doing what it is that I do. You know, y'all know Serenity. You know, I do a lot cooking, and then now that I'm a mother, you know, I want to really like do videos about that, incorporate my son, my husband, you know, and I'm just really excited, you know, about what's to come ahead. So you got to stay tuned. You got to stay, you know, focused in, you know. So let's see. My North Node, somebody said, where's your North Node? My North Node is in Cancer. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments, trying to, ooh, crap. Yeah. Okay. Oh, somebody said the video that gave me a boost of confidence was one she did a while back called I Quit My Job. I know, it was crazy. Like, I remember that day, like when I quit my job, and I was like, oh shit. And I did it in such a crazy ass way. Like, it was like I burnt that bridge, and I didn't mean to, but it happened. I know I wasn't going to go back, so. Mercury and Cancer, I'm a Leo. Oh, everybody keep asking what my North Node is. Oh, her name is Vibes now. It's not Anaya. Okay, now y'all just talking about astrology. It has any astrology questions.
I think they were gonna do that.
I know. Okay. Oh, I got 2 people that want to come in. Let's see. I'm gonna add you. See what happens. Added. What's a spider right there? Yaruza Salem 9. She's connecting. Peace.
Hey, peace. Oh, oh my gosh. Look, I didn't know that you was gonna pick me. Girl, I'm sitting up here with my back. No, because I'm sitting up here. I'm in the tub with the girl. I'm in the tub. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna keep it short. This is a blessing. This is divine. I want to say, just based me and my baby, we sitting here, girl. I just want to say, I appreciate you all, and I wanted to, I pray blessings upon you all,
Oh,
and you and the baby and Rambo, and it's not Anaya anymore, it's Vibes and Key, and I want to I just bless you all's path, okay? And I'm so grateful that you all have peace of mind. You looking great. Okay, I remember you when, oh my gosh, you went to the store, you went to the market and you bought this food and you had you make this awesome vegan potato soup. And then I wrote you, I don't know if you remember, I wasn't Jerusalem 9, I was a different name and I forgot it. Yeah, but I wrote you a long, because a lot of people had stuff to say that was not good. And I was like, hey, you good, you got this energy, people hating and whatnot. So that's when I first locked into you. And I just always appreciated your spirit and vibes, and Key and Rambo. So y'all are a good team. Y'all are a good team, okay? So keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you for having a home birth. I had 2 home births.
really?
Yes. I'm sorry, say that again. Uh-oh. Wait, say that again.
How did it go?
It went well. I'm sorry, but my baby's yelling. It went well for me.
Yeah, they trying to yell.
Right. It went well, honey. He was born in Arizona. It went well. It was awesome. And so I had my girl too. She's 6 now, but I had her as well. And so it's just when I see women, sisters taking their power back and having a home birth, I get so excited, But Serenity, look, my baby grabbing the phone, girl. You see him? Say hi. Say hi.
A boy or little girl, because they're at that stage where you
A boy. A boy. Thank you so much, girl. I'm not going to keep you because, like I said, I'm in the tub, honey. So peace and blessings to you all. I love you, okay? I love you. Yes. I love myself. You take care.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
That was funny. Yeah, she was in tub, y'all. And he was cute. Wasn't he cute? He was so adorable. Okay, let me see who else I'm going to surprise.
Maybe we'll get a shower then.
Oh, you know what? Y'all come back into the room. It says I got 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining. So I don't want it to cut you off. So I'm going to come back, and if you are trying to request, to go live, make sure you come back in, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, hold on.